All new at 5, a member of the Boogaloo Bois, a far-right anti-government extremist group, is arrested by the FBI.
24-year-old Timothy Teagan now facing drug and gun-related charges in federal court. And this evening, we're getting a look inside the counterterrorism investigation that sparked a raid of Teagan's father's home. The 8-page criminal complaint giving us a glimpse into what agents found during that raid.
And this isn't the first time we've heard Teagan's name. He was one of dozens of people who openly carried an assault rifle while demonstrating on January 17th of 2021 outside the state capitol building in Lansing.
Of course, Michigan has a long history with militias. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, there are about 180 militias across the U.S. 18 of those are currently active across our state. In fact, the Department of Homeland Security has warned of potential domestic terrorism threats posed by Boogaloo supporters as recently as 2021.
Jason Colthorpe is outside federal court where Teagan was arraigned today. Jason.
Yeah, and those charges, guys, very simple at this point: being a drug user and in possession of a firearm, number one, and number two, lying about that in written form. And while the FBI will only confirm the arrest right now, it certainly appears that agents believed Teagan was going to be involved with, or at least knew about, something involving Election Day.
I'm a Boogaloo Boy. It means I'm a member of a movement, an ideology that wants to restore our liberties and our freedoms, and we refuse to stand down and take a knee.
That's Timothy Teagan, in his own words, speaking to Local 4's Grant Herms outside the state capitol January 17th of last year. But this year, the FBI has been paying closer attention to Teagan, and following his arrest October 25th by Plymouth police for domestic assault against his father, it prompted the FBI to obtain and execute a search warrant of Teagan's father's home last Thursday.
They had shields, automatic weapons, just went through here and tore my house to pieces.
Today, his father, Jonathan Teagan, told me he's scared for his son and he'd never incite anything illegal.
My son is a good man, and he would, like the Gretchen Whitmer thing, if he ever heard anything about that, he would go to the authorities.
Unsealed this morning, the FBI's criminal complaint notes often that Teagan is a member of the Boogaloo movement, and its ideology is anti-government and advocates for the violent overthrow of government. Documentarian Ford Fisher posted a phone conversation with Teagan the day after the raid, in which Teague says the FBI grilled him about Election Day and if he or his movement had plans to take up arms and go to the polls in an effort to disrupt voting. And by the way, Teagan says that he denied having any knowledge of or going to participate in anything that would involve violence regarding Election Day. He will be back here in federal court on Friday for a detention hearing. Back to you.
Well, Jason, does the FBI think there's any credible threat involving the Boogaloo Bois and Election Day, as you just mentioned?
Well, we got our hands on the criminal complaint here. It's 7 pages, and nowhere in here is there any references to a credible threat. However, we should point out that Detroit News is reporting that another arrest, along with Teagan's, coincides with that out of Ohio, another member of the Boogaloo movement, and certainly they believe that they're at least looking into this at this point, the FBI looking out to what might lie ahead on Election Day.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it.
We sure will.